it can be changed. It's choice. It's the voice of choice. It's the voice of reason. And it's a powerful pill. I was reading this article today. It was given to me by Father Max, and it was about the placebo effect, and it was talking about $2.50 pill opposed to a 10-cent pill, and it was talking about how generic drugs don't work as good as designer, well, not designer, but, you know, high-end pharmaceutical drugs. It has nothing to do with the substance. It's all belief and the metaphysical form and what that is. I mean, you can't deny it. I mean, they're releasing this study. I think it's the AMA is releasing this, American Medical Association. Not that they're the catch-all or end-all of any of this, because how are you going to have doctors govern doctors? I mean, talk about crooked. I mean, that's, you know, it's not going to work. You know, you can't have the police police the police. Even the police have internal affairs, which is made up of former policemen, I'm sure, Scorpio. But as we connect these dots, and boy, there are a lot of dots, and that's why I love the rap game, and I love the freestyle rap game, because you can keep connecting these dots, and it's happening in this poetic fashion that is emanating from this soul-like force, call it what you want, mind, source, soul. I'm not going to drop all the AKAs because people identify with one word so many times, and if you want to have a wide sweep, you have to use words in a way where you pick and go into the situation. I mean, it's like when NLP people talk about sound, motion, and visual. And that we fall into these three parts, and that we all have a dominant domain. Now, so you have to hit all of them. I mean, Tony Robbins talks about all this. I mean, he, as far as I'm concerned, he co-opted something that came from general human beings. This is my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not completely trying to down Tony Robbins and say that he's just an evil, demonic, money-grubbing bastard, because outside, inside, and through that, I think that he really does want to help people as he enriches himself. So I don't know where to put him, truthfully. And why would I? I can't see the insides of human beings, see their intention, and know why they do things. And people really do mask themselves. So what I see when I hear him talk is something that moves me in a way. So there you go. You got when I see, visual. When I see him talk, auditory. It moves you, so that you use all three, and that's why when you write on the blackboard, you want to touch all the points, because we don't know what moves people. So many people tend towards the visual. I think visual people are snappy and quick. That's the way it's taught in his books and stuff. I know kinesthetic people are kind of slow. They have to feel. It has to go inside them and kind of penetrate their core. So everything's about feeling, and they're trying to get it in and get it. But visual people have to keep up with those movies in their head and the flashing, the postcards. Of sort of the way I'm approaching this right now. It's just that snap, 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 boom, boom, what's happening, da, 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 da. And so losing, that's why you lose your bass. I mean, I lose my bass so much when I run in this speeded up fashion, but at the same time, you're conjuring up so much energy. But you have to work with the stress of the situation. If you allow the stress to overrun you, I mean, you're going to get swallowed up. And so much of it is staying in that central transmitting core. And I think that's why so much religion is at its core, is speaking so much truth. And I mean, comparatively, I mean, you can keep finding the combinations. And I don't know why people reject one for the other. I was looking in the new Trump Kawasaki book today. It was yesterday in the Borders, and I liked what Kawasaki said at one point when he talked about his relationship to God as a child, and he was saying that he was brought up Protestant, and they said, even though they pray to the same God, because Catholics belong to the wrong church, they're not going to heaven. So he, as a child, said that he started going to a Catholic friends of his church and started seeing what was going on inside there, and they basically were saying the same thing about the other side. Okay, so how did these people split from the same center, create these views, and now they're sitting there saying, you, no you, no you, no you, let's separate, let's fight, let's create war? I mean, that's the bad. Right? I mean, the violence is the bad. The hate is the bad. The the not caring about people is the bad, right? I mean, so which brings me to some of the like Amend Him, for example, and this is the first time I've ever, I think, directly, or maybe I have uttered his name in videos before, but I mean, I could deal with this now. I had to get it. I embrace some of that person's views in so many ways, and then I saw beneath all of the crass, ugly, blah, rah, all that stuff, you know, and I said, what, you know, he's operating from the center, somewhere in there, and I mean, then I dug a little deeper and I found out that there's like burning bridges all over the place, and you can't have your city burn on this level. I mean, I don't suggest it. If I was a friend to this person or was more in the inner circle or something, I would speak directly to it. And maybe if you are part of that inner circle, maybe you could speak directly to it. Or maybe you could point this way, and then maybe this can be found out. And maybe this is the synchronous element of where we're really trying to go and what's connected in this pointillistic dot-like fashion. So I don't know, you know, and like look at Yoke-Up. I mean, I'll talk about him for the first time, I know, as me, because, you know, I'm not even going to tell you why I created some other thing to try and address this man. You figure it out, or you tell me why I did that, and I'll tell you me on a one-on-one basis. I'm not going to broadcast that. Okay, there's a lot of talking points. I mean, what is it? Walmart, they have the thing, the price point, and you know they have it at the corner of every aisle, and that's where the cheap stuff is to draw you in. You know, I was reading an article yesterday about Burger King in Midtown, and they had he didn't want to honor the 99-cent menu because his rent's too high, and they have this, you know, they allow people in airports and rest stops. They don't have to carry the 99-cent menu. But this guy's in Midtown. His rent is like jacked, sky high. And this guy said, I can't do business with the 99-cent menu. It's killing my business. My franchise can't exist in Midtown Manhattan with my current rents honoring this 99-cent menu. And you know what they did? They shut him down. Which is proof. I mean, I can't speak exactly and fully on the franchise system. As far as I've heard, through the grapevine, Subway's the worst. They exploit their people more than any franchise organization. I would love to know more about this stuff. So anyone that owns a franchise and knows someone that owns a franchise, I would like them to pipe up and tell me about the system. I mean, in a lot of ways, I'm sure it works, but in some ways, are you selling your integrity, your soul, or codifying your business in a way just to get part, you know, to suck off that central sponge? You know, I mean, it sounds like a crock of Ray. So, not a ray of hope, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't, but somebody should. And final thing I'm going to say is that I think we're going to take this video thing on the road. So look for that. There's going to be about a month off coming up in a week that I'm going to take myself on the road. But when I return, I mean, we're going to be looking more towards exploring the art inside the cathedrals and the museums. Probably a lot of the classic art, a la Sister Wendy, and some of the artists and maybe some of the religious people or some of the film people might know more about her. I know very little. I just heard of her, and conceptually I think it's genius, it's beautiful, and I think I actually did come into contact in some form at one time because it's just so familiar. And I don't think it's just that, you know, collective consciousness way, Jungian type of archetypical way. And speaking of Jung, I mean, Jung talks about the anima and the animus is terms of the objective to the subjective, and the idea and how it penetrates into action. Oh God, I wish I could say this better. But I'm just gonna let this go raw because, you know, I think it's right on. You know, someone called me son the other day. Actually, it was about an hour ago, because I jumped on that disrespect to woman thing, and I don't like it. I don't like it. And you know, I have my own check and balance in that way, and I do check and balance it, and I'm thankful that I take myself on that path and God knows. Well, that's just an expression, you know. I know, and a lot of people should know, and people of the right and piety, oh, I don't even know what I'm saying right there, but people know what's right. You know, you got to act right. And when you don't act right, you know you're not acting right. And if it's not right, and you think it's right, and you just think you can get away with it, that's so not right. So anyway, someone called me son, and in a disrespectful way, like they was somehow downing me or something, and somehow I'm supposed to be intimidated because you're more street than me. You're more, you know, you got more cred. You know, and I'm done with that street proving nonsense, and I don't really play that game anymore. I don't got nothing to prove. F you, fushnicks, you know what I'm saying? So, but he said, the point is, he said, son. And you know what I said to that man? I said, call me father.